Welcome to Canon Construction. This is a human being. This is an anthropomorphic animal. And this is an alien. Now, surely the Mobians descended from the aliens, right? I mean, they certainly haven't come from the humans. Today, we count all the different aliens from Sonic the Hedgehog's history, where they come from, their impact on Sonic's universe, and just how many of them evolved into the characters we know today. Now, there are a lot of planets to talk about, such as this one, and this one, and this one, and this one on a technicality. It's important to note that while I'll be using the word alien, I'm going to define that as not just a being not from this Earth, but it still needs to be in this dimension. That way, we don't have characters like Blaze counting as aliens. Sure, she's not from this Earth, but I definitely wouldn't consider her an alien. This does have the adverse effects as counting the Kron, Negral, Voxai, and Zoa from Sonic Chronicles as non-aliens because they're not from this dimension to begin with. But don't worry, it won't make a lick of difference. There are way more of these guys than you'd ever expect there to be. Now, for those of you who have explored my channel before, this video might look a bit familiar, and you'd be right. A little over a year ago, I posted this video, but this video has now been revised since there were a few species I missed back then. So enjoy this video with a slightly younger me and a different background, with current me popping in every now and again to fill in the blanks. First, we need to start with a character you might have not considered to be an alien to begin with. Presumably existing before time began.
It is a transcendent life form that exists in the past, present, and future.
This immortal, shape-shifting, omnipresent beast can both create and destroy worlds, shoot giant lasers from its center, and essentially lives outside of the regular flow of time.
Defeating it here, now, would do nothing.
Solaris is praised as the eternal sun god, and is the local religion of Soliana, a city based off of Venice, Italy. The Duke of Soliana, the man at the head of the constitutional monarchy, vowed to use Solaris to see his deceased wife again. Below the royal palace in Kingdom Valley lies the aquatic base, a research laboratory where the top scientists work to achieve nothing less than the control of time itself. The plan is to study and manipulate the superdimensional phenomenon called the Flame of Hope, Solaris' physical anchor to this point in time. This was known as the Solaris Project, and it didn't go well. Next is Time Eater. I'm gonna be honest, Time Eater is just a worse Solaris in every way. As his name would imply, he can eat time.
When that thing goes through time, it tears space apart, leaving the areas empty and dead, and sticking them in this weird white limbo.
Seemingly immortal, we can assume that he, like Solaris, has been around since time began. Unlike Solaris, he lives in time. That is, wherever he is in time, that's his current fixed point. Found by Eggman in space after Eggman's intergalactic amusement park imploded, Time Eater was quickly taken advantage of. While we don't see the two interact at all, it's either that Time Eater wasn't even powerful enough to defeat a defenseless Eggman, or, more likely, isn't innately hostile. He was used to fetch a slightly younger version of the Doctor and then rebuilt by the two. Think Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy, but with more clockwork, because, you know, time. It's time for the end. This thing literally calls itself the End as a hint to those it opposes. It's a big purple rock that can shoot lasers summoned around itself. And fly. It's a weird series, man. Unlike Solaris and Time Eater, this thing can't control time, though it is also immortal and is at least tens of thousands of years old. Also unlike the two aforementioned deities, the End is intelligent, working not off instinct, but from sentience, and speaks telepathically into the language of whatever it wishes to communicate with. It's also given itself other names, and man, listen to some of these.
The all-consuming void. The orchestra and arbiter of order. The great destroyer. The true enemy.
Even going as far as
the devil.
Whatever it calls itself, the End's importance comes when dealing with the next set of aliens. The Ancients. Well, I highly doubt they call themselves ancient, but we don't know. There used to be 5 tribes coexisting on the planet of the Ancients, varying in physical appearance, but we're not sure what they looked like exactly. The main Ancients race, however, looks like this. Watery, tall, minimalistic in facial features, and a visible soul that we'll get to. They were intelligent, had their own culture, and a technologically advanced society. They lived on an unnamed planet until the End arrived. The End threatened to destroy the planet, so the ancients built chaos engines powered by the Chaos Emeralds to give their ships intergalactic capabilities. Yes, the Chaos Emeralds are alien as well. The aliens fled the planet, and the End destroyed it, and the 4 other races in the process. The remaining race flew into the cosmos, escaping the End. Eventually, many years later, their Chaos engine suddenly stopped working. They crash-landed on the closest planet and decided to set up shop. The reason their engines failed, by the way, was due to what we call the Master Emerald, which nullifies and negates the Chaos Emerald. They rebuilt their society along with a new system of storage called cyberspace, accessed by the terminals and able to hold whatever they want. There's a bunch of hidden goodies that were sprinkled into Sonic Forces lore that you just can't get from a video briefly covering every Sonic alien species. The Coco. Remember that visible soul I mentioned before? These are they. The Coco are the not yet departed souls of the Ancients. Called the Ancients' good luck charms, they retain their corresponding Ancients' hopes and dreams. When those are fulfilled, they pass on to the next life. Those unfulfilled aspirations are sometimes what give the Coco their appearance, whether it be a soldier, pilot, or etc. Other times they'll grow to reflect the area they live in. Now, those agents that survived those tens of thousands of years went through some serious evolutionary changes. They are today what we know as the Chow. Talk about a downgrade. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think they're cute and all like everyone else, but going from a technologically advanced super civilization to some babbling water babies that are like a sixth of the size, that sounds like a de-evolution to me. Circa 3,900 years before present day, some avian aliens were traveling in their ship, the Astral Gardens, when its power system malfunctioned. There were 5 of these systems, called the Arcs of the Cosmos. The Arcs of the Cosmos possess a magnetic field that allows them to take a mass's energy and convert it into other forms of energy, making them a powerful energy source. This also allows the aliens to manipulate gravity. These aliens were known as the Babylonians, and to avoid a black hole situation, they decided to eject all 5 of the arcs into orbit, so they would be too far apart to cause any accidental magnetic field damage, and so no one would find them to use them for their own purposes. The Babylonians landed and started to build a new society, literally surrounding their old spaceship. The Babylonians were thieves, and the best at it. They even had a specialized group called the Babylon Rogues, which is still a successful group to this day, its members swapped out every generation. After 13 of these generations, the current Babylon Rogue leader, Stolen, watched over the invention of what he believed to be their greatest invention to date, a personal mode of transportation via levitations technology, aka the flying carpet. With their newfound flight and speed, inhabitants of the world at the time started to refer to the Babylonians as genies. Years later, the legend of the Babylonians, some in-universe folklore, was immortalized in tapestry. First, the Babylonians crash land on Earth. 2. Tribes worshipped the Babylonians as gods. 3. God smites them for blasphemy. 4. The Babylonians revel in the riches they've made from raids. And 5. All 5 arcs of the cosmos are reunited, and the Astral Gardens is relaunched to travel the stars. The Babylonians, as you may have already put the pieces together, became most of the bird characters. After thousands of years, they went through true evolution, stretching not only over species, but even genera. That being said, it's unclear if all Mobian birds are related to the Babylonians, but at the very least, Mobian hawks, swallows, and albatrosses are. Hey, Current Connor here. I'd like to stop and remind you guys that you can find a lot of the aliens in this video and way more in smaller, bite-sized formats in my short series, Who the Heck Is Anyway? If you like them or this video, do me a big favor and like it, and if you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe and ring the notification bell. Now, when I said the Sonic Universe, I meant the greater Sonic Universe, not just Sonic canon. So we're gonna take a break and go check out all the other non-canonical stuff in a Sonic Alien Lightning Round. The Azurites are a species of humanoid frog triclopses that live at their own speed of time. Several hundreds of years pass by each second. The Bem are an all-female species that focuses completely on science. Their planet of Argentium is a big tube, with bedrock on the outside and oceans and continents on the inner side. Think a halo ring. The planet is led by the Argentium High Command. Each Bem is named after a system of Seneca, followed by their serial number. The biotechs is a mechanical species living in a world of dense smog. The BEM thought they weren't supposed to be that way and changed them to be organic. Doing so removed the biotech's immunity to their planet's deadly microbes, wiping out the entire species. The Bloodix are one of the many bug species on the planet Thoraxia. They resemble ants. They were under attack by another species of bug aliens, but a Bloodix named Apex defeated them with a set of red Chaos Emeralds. They entered a many thousand-year era of peace before the other bug aliens returned with a new queen. This alien species is called the Bzz. Yeah, they're alien hornets, and are the mortal enemy of the Bloodix. The queen is about 4 times the size of a regular Bzz and Bloodix alike, and can shoot acid from her stinger. From the planet of the same name, the Devulans are a species devoted to trade and the linguistic arts, having created the universal translator called the Babel Node. They travel in the galaxy in large ships such as the Magesteron. The Xenocanarites live on Xenocanaris Prime. Highly advanced in ecotech, the Xenocanarites maintain a utopia free of war, famine, disease, and death. The planet's nature thrives in coexistence with the Xenocanarites' technology. Warring with every living group they can find, the Zorda are an alien species that look like a big brain with tentacles coming out of the bottom and a singular eye in the middle, kinda like Mother Brain from the Metroid series. The Wheatians are from the planet Wheat. Much like the BEM, the species is all about science. However, unlike the BEM, they are giants. The Wheat are collectors of alien species and keep them in observation tanks made to reflect their respective habitats. The Meek tribe are a primitive alien tribe from the Sonic the Comic series. They live in caves and use pebbles as currency. The Thick Skull are the other primitive alien tribe from the Sonic the Comic series. They like to bully the weaker Meek tribe. From Sonic X on the planet Green Gate live the Cedrians, sentient plant people who live predominantly like this, but the males eventually turn into dinosaurs, and then all genders turn into trees. Rarely, however, they can be replanted and reborn, much like Groot at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Their planet has a planet egg, which, if removed, cuts off life energy to the entire planet. Also from Sonic X are the Metarex, which are really just cyborg versions of the Cedrians, but since they're in Mortal Kombat, I'm just going to count them as a different race. And those are all the Archie aliens and some more. Back to our game aliens. There's a rock that passes by Earth every 50 years that scientists have dubbed the Black Comet. As those with only the highest level of clearance came to know, however, it wasn't a regular comet. This comet was hollow and was home to the Black Arms, a hostile, violent, and militaristic species. In it lives Black Doom, a 13-foot 1-inch floating alien head and torso. Leader of the Black Arms hive mind, Black Doom wants to feed his army. His belief is that any species who fights with itself is pathetic. He has very little respect for what he sees as unordered. Understandable from the guy who only knows how to run a military. 2,000 years ago, Black Doom and his army came down to Earth to place giant weapons that they could activate later. One was called the Sky Troops, and the other one was called Glyphic Canyon. Now, the Sky Troops I kind of understand, but Glyphic Canyon? I mean, that's just a loop-de-loop. Not very weapony. But hey, alien tech, right? Who am I to judge? 50 years before the events of Sonic Adventure 2, Gerald Robotnik, a genuinely charitable, kind, and passionate scientist, was running experiments inside the Ark, a giant orbiting space laboratory. He was working on the requirements for Project Shadow. In particular, he was finishing what he called the ultimate life form. But he needed something a little more. An artificially made, yet organic being that could naturally harness chaos abilities and not age, among other things. As the Black Comet floated timely past the Earth, Gerald took the opportunity and did what no human had done before and flagged the ship. He made a deal with Black Doom, and Black Doom gave Gerald some of his DNA to help in the organism's creation and to fulfill the anti-aging and hyperimmune system idea Gerald wanted. In trade, 50 years from now on the Black Comet's next passing, Gerald would have to give all 7 Chaos Emeralds to the Black Arms. For the full story on Shadow the Hedgehog's creation, and I really do suggest them, go watch Chowmix's videos. I'll link to them in the description. Current Connor here. Sega wanted to make one of the newer racing games canon, a choice I'm personally against, but in order to do so, they needed a character to facilitate the races happening. From that idea, we get Dodon Pa. This funny-looking tanuki is the king of his planet, Dodon Pa Kingdom. He's eccentric and really enthusiastic about racing, devoting his entire kingdom to the sport. He had a scientist create the ultimate energy engine, a machine to revolutionize transportation, fuel new industries, and reduce pollution, entirely powered by friendship. Now, I'm no scientist, but I was unaware that friendship was quantifiable. Regardless, to get it in its purest form, he sent his invitations across the galaxy, far and wide, even into different dimensions and throughout time, to get Sonic and friends. After it was stolen by Eggman to power yet another Death Egg, the ultimate energy machine went haywire, taking out all the cars with it. Except Vectors, it appears. The Wisp. Where do I even start with these guys? They're yet another alien species in the galaxy. Much like the Chow, they come in all shapes and sizes, but are not from the same base alien. They instead have plenty of different races in their species, and they are, on top of the default white wisp, as followed.
Drill! Laser! Cube! Hover! Spikes! Frenzy! Void! Rocket! Burst! Asteroid! Eagle! Rhythm! Lightning! Quake! Bomb! Ghost!
The wisps come from Planet Wisp, and according to the 3DS version, which I don't count as canon, but she's in a later canon game, Team Sonic Racing, so that part is at least canon. The Mother Wisp is a race all to her own, or perhaps an incredibly rare female version of the default white wisp. One thing of interest, some would argue the only thing of interest, is that
Wisps can share their power with someone they trust.
it's kind of like a half-possession situation. The wisps can also be used as an infinite ammo supply for wisp-ons, guns designed to channel a wisp's ability. After all the aliens on this list, we come to, in my opinion, the most regrettable. The Zeti. The Zeti are a species of brutes that live on the Lost Hex, one of the many satellites orbiting the Earth. The Zeti are a rare species, only 6 total on the entire moon. They, like the End and Black Doom specifically, possess intelligent thought and speech. Well, okay, 4 of them do. Zaz and Zamam are, let's say, subpar representations of their species. The other 4 are fine. Actually, they excel in tactics. And yes, all of their names start with Z's. Their names and geographical location on the Lost Hex are as follow: Zavok, Lava Mountain; Master Zik, Tropical Coast; Zaz, Windy Hill; Zamam, Desert Ruins; Xena, Frozen Factory; and Zor, Silent Forest. The Zeti have a natural control over magnetic fields, and can easily take control of robots. A Zeti's weakness is a specific frequency, one that is only produced by the extremely rare artifact the Cacophonic Conch. Quote, when blown into, the Cacophonic Conch glows red and gives off a low-pitched sound, which allows the user to inhibit or neutralize the powers of nearby Zeti, including their ability to manipulate magnetic fields. The effect of the Cacophonic Conch is also very excruciating to the Zeti, causing them great pain. And so, those are the aliens in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Except for Shadow and some of the bird people, none of the 22 different alien species I just listed have any genetic correlation to the current Mobians of the planet. But it might not even stop there. There are locations that were built a long time ago in this world that we still know nothing about, such as the creators of Westside Island's Hidden Palace Zone, or the inhabitants of the North Star Island. Funny enough, when I was doing research for this video, I found a quote from the wiki on Ian Flynn saying that, when writing for Sonic Frontiers, Ian Flynn proposed that the ancients were ancestors to the Chow as he felt they were already too many random aliens on the Sonic series. He gets it. I'm a Flynn fan. I know that's one of the billion things being argued over on Twitter, but I like his lore. Alright, thanks for listening to me yap about Sonic the Hedgehog world building. If you like this sort of thing, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more in the future, go ahead and turn the notification bell so you know exactly when I post them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much. Laters.